Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to a brand new video, and today we got episode 2 of building Geonosis in LEGO. Now, before we get into the haul and the start of this episode, I just want to quickly mention something in the last episode, and that was the vote for the clone troopers. So in last week's episode, I asked you guys to vote whether to have phase 1 clones or phase 2 clones, which are these guys right here in the mock, the Clone Wars version or the newer episode 3 variant. And based on the vote in the comments, the regular Clone Wars variant did win out, so that's the one I'm going to be using. However, I did see a couple people actually recommend that I kind of do a mix of these two figures, where I end up taking this clone trooper and then having the 2014 version's legs on him. So kind of a combination of the two to create this figure right here. And overall, I actually like it quite a bit, so that's probably what I'm going to go ahead and do. So have the Clone Wars version of the Clone Trooper with the Episode 3 version's legs. So that's how all of them are going to be, and it's pretty exciting. So, alright, so we got a pretty fun-filled, jam-packed episode for you guys. As you see, the haul is here, so some parts are coming in for the terrain. So we're going to be working on the Geonosian terrain, and then we're also going to be working on the Catacomb. So let's quickly talk about that. I've decided to kind of change up the mock as a whole. So this was how it looked originally, where I kind of have kind of this bridge in the middle and two kind of Geonosian terrain sections on each end. One will be with the Republic, one Separatist, and these are going to be plate built, and then the road in the bridge in the middle will be brick built. That's where the super tanks will come off of. However, I've decided that I'm going to here on a bit of a side view raise the mock as a whole. So probably like 5-6 bricks, have it raised on each side such that I can have like a catacomb section kind of below the main terrain. Because the thing is, with the rocks, I can't make too large mountains, so I thought rather than making a base in the mountains, because that really won't be possible, because again, the dark orange brick slopes do cost quite a bit, I'm going to go ahead and kind of build underneath. So I'm going to have the catacomb section here, and maybe even a mini little droid factory section here. So super exciting, and then the bridge again in the center. So in this episode, again, we're going to go ahead and work on that terrain, get the foundation set, but also work on the catacomb. Let's jump into it here with this haul. So a pretty big order. This was, I believe, over $500, so definitely not cheap. But we got a lot of dark orange. Again, I'm going to just go through it as quickly as possible. So we got, again, lots of slopes, lots of 1x1 plates, I think over 1,000. Some 1x1 tiles, 1x4 plates, 1x2 tiles. We got a lot of bricks in dark orange, some more tiles, some dark tan for kind of accent, and then a bunch of 1x2. So again, I think almost 8,000-9,000 parts in this haul. So it's definitely quite crazy, but it's going to be pretty exciting and will give us a nice start for the terrain. So super exciting, but now let's jump into it. So I'll now start going ahead and working on the foundation for the two kind of terrain sections, as well as start some work on the catacombs and get back to you. So let's jump right into it. Alright, so did some work and this is how it's come out. So overall, I'm really happy with how it's looking so far. So I raised the entire terrain section by 6 bricks. And again, as I said, there'll be 2 of these terrain sections of the 64x64 stud terrain sections separated by a bridge. This is the first one, so I ended up kind of raising it by 6 bricks total. And this is kind of where the dark orange terrain is going to be. And then here on the side, we actually have a cool catacomb section. So we'll jump into that in just a second. But first, I just wanted to quickly focus on the top section. So I do have kind of this dark, this reddish brown outline. And the reason for that is basically when you put the dark orange on, you're of course going to see the kind of outline of the plate. So I did make it in the reddish brown. I wanted to do dark orange, but again, those parts are a little too expensive, especially for like 6x6 plates are like $4 each. So I chose instead dark brown or reddish brown, which looks good. And then again, in the center, we have the colorful section, which will be pretty much not visible. But let's quickly take a look at the catacomb section. Alright, so here's a look at the catacomb section. So we again have mainly one section here in the middle. I'll take the minifigures out. So we got kind of a couple of these kind of Geonosian doors, some rock work around it, the base will be having plate tiles. You'll have probably either dark orange or reddish brown kind of plates and tiles. So that will be covered up, but overall just a small catacomb section. So again, I'll probably have a couple clones, couple of the zombie Geonosians here. So again, that'll be pretty cool. And then on the kind of next to it, originally I was just gonna have plain reddish brown brick on each side and just have this cutout, but it looked too plain, so I did add some kind of small rock work type of holes so we can have this section here, which is gonna maybe another catacomb section. So again, just to add some more detail. Definitely this is going to be the front side of the build. So we'll have this and the bridge on the right. But when you look at it straight on, you'll be seeing this section here. And overall, I think it looks great. Next off, we're going to be going ahead and working on the terrain. And also just want to quickly mention for the second terrain section on the other side of the bridge, it'll also have kind of an open section. There I'm thinking of actually putting a mini droid factory, so maybe like a conveyor belt with some droids on it. I think that would look really good as well. So I just want to quickly show you that, and now let's go ahead and work on the terrain. All right, so just want to give you a quick little update on the Greebling process so far, just so you can get a bit of idea as what this will look like. So when I said I wanted to kind of have a mix of plate and tile, kind of like a Greebling look, this is what I meant. So I've kind of like mixed randomly tiles and plates and jumpers just to give it a more random kind of rough look. I think that looks much better than just having plates or just having tiles. Then I did end up having kind of some rock work and like kind of small patches. One piece I actually really like is this one. This is this like quarter circle piece here. And I think that tile piece actually looks really good. Same with this one, this kind of angled tile. So having those kind of throughout the build kind of add that extra bit of detail. And then I also did make an interesting rock design where I took these kind of jumper bricks and connected slopes to all sides. So again, I think that looks also quite nice rather than just putting the slopes kind of right way up on the ground. So yeah, I just thought I would quickly go ahead and show that to you. And now I'll probably get back to you when I can get most of this section greebled and tiled off. All right, so did some more work and this is what I've come up with. So overall, I think it looks great. Basically, the terrain has a good portion of it completed here for this first 64 by 64 plate. Now, this back section is empty because of the fact that I am actually going to be kind of raising it, kind of adding some elevation slash a mini kind of mountain in the back here. So that's why I've kind of left this part open. So basically, I'll just be using a bunch of kind of wedge plates to kind of create kind of a angled section for kind of the elevation. So basically I'll be raising it by one stud, and then as we keep moving back, continue to raise it until it's kind of like a small kind of mountain. So again, that's kind of the plan. That's why I've kind of left that section kind of empty. But let's jump into this main section. Again, overall, I think it looks great. This is kind of a look with in terms of that Greebling design where I've kind of mixed a bunch of tiles, 1x tiles, 2x4 tiles, and jumpers. And then also a variety of 1x plates as well as a couple 2x plates. And kind of added this kind of rough Greebling type of design to kind of represent the dirt and sand. Because Geonosis in general is quite flat, so I did want to give it some more character. Also added a bunch of kind of small rocks and parts. Again, this quarter circle tile piece is actually a really nice one. Same with kind of these kind of wedge angled tiles as well. So I got a couple of patches of kind of dark tan. So if you've seen, this is not actually in the Clone Wars TV show, but in the movie, there's actually kind of these patches of like dark tan type of dirt throughout Geonosis. So that's kind of what I added. Again, we can zoom in here. So it's really just super random, kind of just a mixture of plate and tile. Now, lastly, I guess it does look a bit flat, but again, when that elevation and the mountain in the back comes, I think it'll look great. I didn't add any craters for this section. I probably won't, but on the second portion, terrain portion, I probably will add a couple craters as well. Definitely really happy with the progress we have so far. So what's going to happen next? My Brooklyn order with all the wedge plates and slopes have not arrived, so that's a bit of a shame. However, I'll see if I can do a bit of a prototype of kind of what I'm talking about with the elevation in the mountain, and then get back to you, and then that's probably where we'll end the segment off. So let's jump into that. Alright, so I've been doing some more work, and I've gone ahead and kind of elevated the terrain, just to kind of give you a brief idea of how it looks like. Again, I got one of the AATs, some droids here. So overall, I'm definitely going to be using this AAT instead of the older one, just because it is smaller, and because of that, I can easily include 2 to 3, and they actually look a nice size on the mock, versus the old one that would just be too large. So again, I think it looks great, even if the AAT itself isn't the best. But let's quickly remove these figures and take a look at some of the elevation that I've done so far. Alright, so here's a look at all the elevation I've done so far. So overall, I have gone ahead and increased the leveling of the ground by 1 plate, and then kind of use these kind of wedge plates here to kind of start that mountainous kind of section, the second level of the ground. Again, much better than the just using regular plates and tiles, because then it would really have kind of like a square kind of feel, like kind of steps. So kind of to give it a nice jagged, kind of rocky, curved look, I ended up using the wedge plates, which, the wedge plates really do add that kind of nice angle and look, make it much more natural. Again, I am now officially out of wedge plate, so that's why I've kind of stopped, but there's going to be another level over here, a couple more on the top, so it'll probably be 4 to 5 plates high when it's all said and done. Also, plan is maybe to use some of these on the very top, and again, so all the Geonosian spires, which we'll work on next episode, that is also going to be on this kind of hill section, so this section will be mostly clear with the spires kind of on the hill. And again, here is kind of one last look at all of the detailing. So overall, we got the catacombs done and a lot of detailing on the first of 2 identical terrain sections. Alright, but anyways, there you go. So there was a look at episode 2 of building Geonosis in LEGO. Now, this episode did come out on a Saturday, and probably from now on, all episodes will come out once a week, about every Saturday or Sunday. So pretty exciting, 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this episode. I had a lot of fun. Again, here's all the Geonosians I have. Again, I don't think I've shown that in the previous episode. So I only have, 2 regular Geonosians, 1 zombie, Poggle, and then I have like 4 of those old 2003 versions, which I'm probably not going to use. Might put them in the Catacombs. So definitely let me know what you guys thought down in the comments below. Overall, in terms of kind of the Greebling technique as a whole, if there are any improvements, anything else you'd like to see, definitely let me know. But what are we going to be working on in next episode? We're going to finish kind of the mountain section and work on the spires. We're also then going to get started on the second section of the terrain, which will be another 64 by 64 kind of section, and basically do kind of a similar technique in terms of the Greebling and mountain work. And I might also go ahead and add a couple of trenches in that one. Not sure how far we'll get, because it is a bit time consuming, but again, we'll have this section completely done and have a good start on the next section in episode 3. So definitely stay tuned for that. Then in episode 4, the plan will be to finish all the ground section and then work on the bridge. Hopefully in 5 to 6 weeks, this mock will be complete if there are no delays. So super exciting about that. Also, lastly, I did end up ordering a bunch of clone blasters. So those would be again, I forgot, like the DC-15s. Basically, both of the main clone blasters. I ordered the actual droid blaster, about 50 of those as well. So again, all the figures in this mock will have kind of brick arms weapons. So super exciting. But anyways, that is going to do it for week 2. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more videos coming very soon. And I'll see you all next time.